Hey. What's up, all y'all? Yes, this is Stone Petoskey. I want to welcome you to another episode of Getting Stoned. Yes, here we are, living, loving, laughing, and learning, baby. That's how it goes. That's how we rolls. I just made a rhyme. Imagine that. So I was thinking today, it's like, we're always in the ocean, right? I mean, that's kind of the primordial truth of the matter. Strands in the web, But in that way, each of us has a unique story to tell. Each of us humans is the embodiment, if you will, of the source, the universe, the Godhead, the no-thingness, getting to know itself through us two-leggeds and the fish and the aspen tree, the bumblebee, the dirt. Yeah. A human being's life is really predicated upon, that 6-inch layer of topsoil. Really. Without that, we ain't happening. Whole bunch of life ain't happening without that. Yeah, so you don't want to fuck with the topsoil, but it most particularly would be problematic for us human beings. Yeah, here we are, just treating the dirt like dirt. Well, we know how that all goes in the end now, don't we? Yeah, you reap what you sow. Yeah. Sending a big hug and lots of love out to all y'all. So thank you so much for being here, for stopping on by, for bringing your beautiful self to this third stone from the sun. Speaking of that, it's like, did y'all know that the energy, if you will, that the human body requires to live, the majority of that energy comes from light, not from food and water. Yeah, that's a trip, eh? We are powered by light. Yeah, things are much trippier than they seem. I mean, food and water is essential, and obviously it's a pleasure to cook food and eat food with your loved ones and with people you don't even know, and you get to know them over a fine meal. And I'm all for that. But yeah, 2/3, I don't know, the majority anyway of the energy that's required to power our cells and our mitochondria and all the things in there that we gave names to comes from the light. So when I say you are the light, you are the light. Hell yeah. Well, what do you say we hop on into it? I'm gonna read from that book, 33 Myths of the System, rather. How about we do by Darren Allen, everybody. I've read a lot from this book. I like this one here. This one's kind of shorter to the point. It's called The Trickle-Down Myth. It is rich businessmen who crave wealth without their ability to spot investment opportunities and invest in the future. Everyone else will be sitting around twiddling their thumbs and getting poorer as the economy shrinks. In order to accept this fantastic picture of the world, we have to not only ignore the stupendous growth of the first world during the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, when the rich were taxed up to their eyeballs and adequate state welfare handed out to the poor. Not only put aside the facts on how fast and how much wealth has increased since the 70s for the owning 0.01% and for the managed 1% compared to everyone else. Not only ignore the fact that money and work do not lift the poor out of misery, not only pass over the fact that as overall wealth has increased, investment has slowed. And not only pretend that the rich don't do everything in their power to ensure that more and more have less and less. But we also have to assume that a system which gives $500 trillion to 500 psychopaths in the hope that a few of their servants might benefit must be the fairest and most intelligent way of organizing society. Darren is such a fucking trip, man. He's so good. The, quote, trickle-down, unquote, theory came to prominence during the 1980s when Thatcher and Reagan handed the world over to the hyper-wealthy by privatizing public services, funding foreign dictators, giving tax breaks to multimillionaires, dismantling the welfare state, and passing a, quote, financialized, unquote, virtual economy over to the banks. The idea was that in order to be persuaded to work, rich people need to be given money, while poor people need to have their money taken away. Oddly enough, it no work. Funneling unimaginable sums of money into the ever-swelling pockets of a microscopically tiny group of parasitical rentiers via massive tax breaks and credits, bailouts, enormous subsidies to landowners, intellectual property rights holders, and the like, unproductive rental income essentially. Soft regulation and various other special privileges doesn't improve the lot of the multitude that the system was built to dominate. Rather, it inflates their living costs, depresses their wages, suffocates their production, sucks the lifeblood from their communities, destroys their nature, and pushes them into market slavery, aka debt. The trickle-down myth is represented nowadays as the idea that a rising tide raises all boats, which is to say, the principle that the poor, who must subsist on table scraps dropped by the rich, can best be served by giving the rich bigger meals. Sure, a rentier earning $200,000 a year from a wide portfolio of property and investments now earns 10% more, but so does a Nigerian farmer earning $2 a day. It's fair, you see, because an extra $20,000 earned from doing nothing productive is the same as an extra 20 cents from slogging your guts out all day to grow food. Thus, poor countries are richer and rich countries are richer, and they both got rich through free trade and free markets. The complete ruin of the third world, forcing poor countries to adopt free market policies, the annihilation of the natural world, and incidentally the, quote, growth of states which practice intense state-directed protectionism and discrimination against foreign investors, are predictably swept under the ideological carpet. But we're richer now, cry the marvelous ones, living in the land of plenty. Look at my bank balance. Look at the price of my house. Look at, Actually, nobody celebrates their own wealth. Focused on the level above, restrained by fear of resentment masquerading as modesty, and hypersensitive to microscopic inconveniences, even six-figure technocrats complain they haven't got enough. The property rich are richer though, and the idea persists that their rising wealth is a good thing, or that access to middle-class financial security is a noble goal. Everyone with eyes in their head knows that wealthy people are overwhelmingly insensitive, that the children and grandchildren of self-made men are notorious morons, that famous people are extraordinarily unhappy, or far less creative than when they made it big, and that the wealthy classes are, as a group, cruel, lonely, miserable, afraid of independent responsibility, terrified of freedom, haunted by their mediocrity, tight-fisted beyond satire, and sedated by their affluence. Compliant, domesticated, and, in the worst sense of the word, but none of this will happen to me. I can handle money, power, not likely. But everyone's earning more, cry systemocrats. They've got degrees now and mobile phones, and look at China and the GDP, thereby ignoring the catastrophic madness of measuring quality of life by the transformation of nature and culture into money. An oil spill increases gross domestic product, as does felling a rainforest, as does a new Amazon warehouse. Along with 1 billion people who live in slums and do not have clean water or enough to eat. The money pool. And billions more who are either excluded from the great party because they are too old, too young, too female, too sensitive, or too weird, or who are unable to feed, clothe, heal, house, transport, or entertain themselves, or live without work, high-tech access to the market, or the correct paperwork. A world of people who need to get things and scores in order to, quote, enjoy 5 seconds of relief from continual restless boredom, who have no access to nature or genuine culture or knowledge that such things actually exist, and who have only crap games to play. By any meaningful measure of wealth, we are all dirt poor and getting poorer by the day. Yeehaw! The Trickle-Down Myth. Darren Allen, 33 Myths of the System. Yeah, thank you, brother. Always a trip hanging out with you for a few minutes. Deep breath, deep breath. Well, this is the point where we always slide in some poetry. So today, wait 1 second. I just want y'all to know how much I appreciate you. How much this world is made better because you are here. Yeah, because of you. Remember, you're shining bright. You are the light. Like, literally. Yeah. Shine bright, y'all. Woo. Much love, much love. All right, so this is a poet. This cat, his name is Billy Collins. He's a super well-known poet, which makes him, like, hardly known at all. Because, you know, what is this? It's truth. Truth is like poetry, and most people dislike poetry. Ain't that a fact? So here we go. This is from his book called Aimless Love, and per usual, we're just gonna hop on in here and pick a couple. This one, interesting enough, here we go. The trouble with poetry. The trouble with poetry, I realized as I walked along a beach one night, cold Florida sand under my bare feet, a show of stars in the sky. The trouble with poetry is that it encourages the writing of more poetry. More guppies crowding the fish tank, more baby rabbits hopping out of their mothers into the dewy grass. And how will it ever end? Unless the day finally arrives when we have compared everything in the world to everything else in the world. And there's nothing left to do but quietly close our notebooks and sit with our hands folded on our desks. Poetry fills me with joy, and I rise like a feather in the wind. Poetry fills me with sorrow, and I sink like a chain flung from a bridge. But mostly, poetry fills me with the urge to write poetry, to sit in the dark and wait for a little flame to appear at the tip of my pencil. And along with that, the longing to steal, to break into the poems of others with a flashlight and a ski mask. And what an unmerry band of thieves we are. Cut purses, common shoplifters. I thought to myself as a cold wave swirled around my feet and the lighthouse moved its megaphone over the sea, which is an image I stole directly from Lawrence Ferlinghetti, to to be perfectly honest for a moment. The bicycling poet of San Francisco, whose little amusement park of a book I carried in the side pocket of my uniform up and down the treacherous halls of high school. Yes, the trouble with poetry. Billy Collins. This one's titled Carry. I want to carry you, and for you to carry me. The way voices are said to carry over water. Just this morning on the shore, I could hear two people talking quietly in a rowboat on the far side of the lake. They were talking about fishing, and then one changed the subject, and I swear they began talking about you. One more here from Billy Collins. This one's titled Fool Me Good. I'm under the covers waiting for the heat to come up with a gurgle and hiss and the banging of the water hammer that will frighten the cold out of the room. And I'm listening to a blues singer named Precious Bryant singing a song called Fool Me Good. If you don't love me, baby, she sings, would you please try to fool me good? I'm also stroking the dog's head and writing down these words, which means that I am calmly flying in the face of the Buddhist advice to do only one thing at a time. Just pour the tea. Just look into the eye of the flower. Just sing the song. One thing at a time, and you will achieve serenity, which is what I would love to do as the fan blades of the morning began to turn. If you don't love me, baby, she sings, as a day moon fades in the window and the hands circle the clock, would you please try to fool me good? Yes, precious, I reply, I will fool you as good as I can. But first I have to learn to listen to you with my whole heart. And not until you have finished will I put on my slippers, squeeze out some toothpaste, and make a big foamy face in the mirror. Freshly dedicated to doing one thing at a time. One note at a time for you, darling. One tooth at a time for me. Yeah, Billy Collins, my brother, so damn good. Fool me good. All right. Well, I'm gonna play a song because I like to just, that's how it is, So here we go. This is one of my originals. I'm 99% sure I played it already. It's different every time, at least for me. This one's Earth Mother. She rode into town on a big white horse, and I knew she would have a win. She wasn't taking no credit, she was kicking down, and I knew it was Judgment Day. She had a giant silver blade, it was strong as the moon, oh, cut through all the pain. There's no stopping her, there's no stopping the wind, there's no stopping the rain and fire. You are helpless, you are helpless, you are helpless, you are. You are nothing, you are nothing, you are nothing to her. Such disregard we have brought to life, and a heavy price we'll pay. I am from mornings indifference. Now's the time to pray. Yeah, has been said, has been done, and she will have a word. There's no stopping her, there's no stopping the wind, there's no stopping the rain and fire. Ow, we are helpless. Ow, we are helpless. Ow, we are helpless. We are. We are nothing. We are nothing. We are nothing to her. Ow. Ha. Ow. Ha. Yeah, like I said, always different. All right. Thank you so much, y'all. Appreciate you. Love you. Yeah. Thank you so much for stopping on by, y'all. Till next time, Storm Petoskey saying.